Dude, those KEF Blade Two Metas, oh my God.
Are you serious?
Those speakers are just like,
well, hey, you got to go hard and really say like how much you enjoy them, because I always say that you don't seem that excited about speakers that like are actually pretty good. You're just like, yeah, they're good. What can I tell you? But like,
yeah, no, this
is your chance.
These are unreal, man. I told you guys in that private chat. So I was listening to, in particular, a Michael Jackson song. Oh God, not Pretty Young Thing. Oh, my mind just blanked out.
PYT.
That's the same song, man.
Human Nature.
You're no help right now.
Man in the mirror.
Oh, what was it? Give me a second. Now you're just naming them all, and I can't remember which one it was. Even if you got it right, I'm not going to remember right now. Suck, bro. Hold on. I'll find it in a minute. I will find it. Just keep entertaining us like that. That's fine. Just keep going, man.
Open mouth thumbnail for the.
Where is this?
Hey, you know what? I think you are allowed to do the open mouth thumbnail for the
there you go.
Meta.
Oh, I'm going to do it for that. All right, it's wanna be starting something.
Okay.
Wanna be starting something. All right, so I'm listening to it, and about like 30 seconds or so into it, I noticed there's like a sound like on the right.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, I never noticed that before.
Did you just hear something that wasn't?
I did. So then I got headphones, and I was like, yeah, I don't really hear it. Like, I kind of hear it if I'm stretching it, you know? I'm like, okay, I don't really know. I listen to it again, and then I pull up this guy's video. He makes a video about it. Has all the stems. Chana, you know what I'm talking about. Got all the stems for all the different tracks. There's like 32 or something different tracks for that song.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, this is a 45-minute video, and I'm watching it, and I can't find what I'm looking for. So then I go download the stems, and I found it. And I can't, it's called like, I even wrote it down because I was just like blown away by how it stood out. And I was just like, this is
what timestamp so we can test it out?
Yeah.
It's called Percussive Scratch, and it's at 29 seconds, and it only lasts for about 7 seconds. But it's on the right side, and it sounds like a sound. That's the closest I can get to it with my mouth. But it's like a clack. It's like a clack sound. Hey.
What do I have to listen to uncompressed, or can I play it on anything? Does it have to be like?
Dude, I was streaming it off of YouTube, like the worst version I could find. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But it was crazy. I was like, what? I've never heard it. Like, it just stood out, but it wasn't annoying. And there's a song that I've heard a bunch of times that I heard a cutout on, and I'm like, all right, is that a streaming thing? So I'm going to go back and find my actual album.
I'm going to mute myself. 27 seconds, you say?
29 seconds is about where it starts. It kind of starts a new
is it
sound.
Is it on a particular speaker?
It's on the right.
On the right. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to listen.
Tell us more about how close you can get to it with your mouth, Erin.
You have to pay extra for that. You got to do a super chat.
Show.
No, super chat. Super chat. $10 super chat, and I will tell you.
It's like a veil has been lifted over. So
I know it. It's the typical audiophile stuff, man. But it's like, when you've heard these songs hundreds of times and you hear something new, you're like, oh, hold up. Well, is that real?
Host ticket. Anyway, there's something that was kind of interesting that I learned from these Atmos mixers or these immersive mixers last week. One of the things is like those types of like little sounds, Erin, you're not really supposed to hear it. They try to like, if there's something bad in the recording, they want to try and hide it, right?
Yeah.
What they don't like, and they use like compressors, like they'll like use a SSL glue compressor to kind of glue everything together. So it's nice and cohesive and stuff like that. But when you go into Atmos, you can't use that stuff. And then all these things that you were trying to hide as the mixer are now exposed. Yeah, right? So either you have to take it out purposefully, otherwise it's just going to be there, and more people are going to notice. So it's funny to me how like, all the audiophiles want to hear all these little tiny details because the speaker or the system is so revealing that, when the drummer was recording, he accidentally farted, and you can hear the fart on the snare drum a little bit. Like this. Oh, that's what you hear it. Like, is this really like what it's come down to? Do you want to hear somebody farting on a stair drum?
I did hear it.
Dude, I just listened to that. That's a very subtle noise.
Yeah.
And I'm near field to the speaker. I'm like right here.
When you know to listen for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So
now
anyway, what was happening? Like you heard this thing, and you're like,
yeah. I mean, I've heard that song thousands of times, and I've never noticed that. Yeah. And the thing is, it stood out, you know, but not in a bad way. It just like in the soundstage, it was like there's this distinct sound that with these other speakers that I went back and listened to doesn't stand out as much. Sure. So without having heard those speakers, I'm not sure that I ever would have heard that sound. I'm dead serious. It was wild.
That's what it is. Got to plunk down your 50K now.
Dude, I want to buy them so bad.
You have to listen to every song.
I'm telling you.
Easter eggs.
I want to buy them so bad. So bad.
You know, so I would always used to say, like, there's this in this Portishead song, you can hear like a little mouth detail when she like goes to like open her mouth to sing. You know, you can kind of hear it. But you can kind of hear that on every speaker. So it's like, I don't know, is that like something special and cool and audiophile like? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I remember I did a review one time. It was a car audio speaker, and I talked about something. Uh-oh. Anyway, it was about a car audio speaker, and I mentioned having heard something, and then everybody else was like, well, I can hear it too. It doesn't mean those speakers are great. And I'm like, well, you can now because I've told you to go and listen for it.
They're now opened up to the like, oh, something's there. Let me right. Yeah.
All right. So what else about this KEF Blade?
It sounds incredible, dude. Like here it is. Anybody who says these speakers don't sound good either doesn't know what to listen for. They are biased against the speaker for some reason. Set up improperly.
Kidding.
Or something else. Maybe there's a fourth variant.
Say the brand. Can you say the brand?
Who? What?
The brand of the speaker.
Oh, it's KEF Blade Two Meta.
Okay. No, the reason the reason I asked is because I can tell that you responded to somebody using like the voice thing. Yeah, I commented back because they probably either don't like the Keith. Keith. It says Keith, and I said, "Oh yeah, Keith Blades."
Yeah, you know that guy, Keith Blades. Man, he sucks. He can't make a speaker to save his life.
All right, so what do you think? If I was skeptical and I'm like, oh, now Erin's all about it, right? Like, oh, now he's raving about this, giving subjective. Now he's being all subjective, and he's saying all these terms all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay, so
White Man Special by Keith.
What is your preemptive response to that?
I don't care, man. I like what I like.
It's like that, huh?
Like that, man. These things sound freaking fantastic, dude. I mean, like, it's wild because everything is so layered. And so, like, a week ago, I was saying I would want my mid basses close to the floor, you know, and now I'm like, nope, put them right by the mid range. Like, put every driver right there. But honestly, if you think about it, to me, that has always made the most sense. And that's why I've always thought the Blade, probably like just from a logical perspective, makes the most sense, you know. But like, you could argue that an MTM type design with a more narrow vertical could be advantageous. But man, I don't know how anybody can say these things don't sound good. I think they're out of their minds, or they're biased, or they don't know what they're listening for. Because
they Blade One Meta,
Blade Two Meta. The ones are larger. The difference between the ones and the twos, other than just physical size, is that the ones have either 9 or a 9.5 inch mid bass. There's 4 of them, and then the Blade Two Metas have 6.5 inch mid bass. But they get down to 30 without any issue. I'm just like, forget it.
Wait, did you say 30?
30 hertz, yeah, for 30K.
30 hertz for 30K.
So you're hearing things in the recording that you've never heard before.
Yes,
this is what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Your toes were tapping. Your toes were tapping.
No. I'm going to call it. I'm going to title the video "Giant Killer," and I'm going to have the O face.
O face. You got to do the just put like all the buzzwords. Just say pace, rhythm, and timing. Inner detail.
Inner
Well,
detail.
chocolatey base.
Whoa,
You know,
whoa, whoa. Inner detail. What are we
Yeah,
talking
inner detail is the detail that is inside of the detail.
inside of my ears?
That sound
Yeah.
27 seconds. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, inner
It's the
detail.
inner detail.
Yeah.
You can only hear it if you listen to high res.
Right. Yeah, you can only be an audiophile.
Right. You can
Or only audiophiles can know.
Cobas.
Really, that's one of those weird sounds that could possibly be taken out with compression. Like when
Yeah.
you take a high res thing, it's like so like blended into the other sounds that like if you use something that's highly compressed, it could be like, that's all the same anyway. Just
Yeah.
play it all as one.
White one. I like the white one.
I don't know.
That's what
Yeah,
I
the ones they sent me are gloss black. I thought I had asked for the
blue one.
flat black, which I guess would be the top ones,
So-
but
The mid range on the
Without the
sides, does that act kind of like a MTM but on like sideways?
yeah, I don't know what the crossover is for that. My guess is 400, maybe 500 hertz, somewhere around there. But those woofers should basically be non-directional, and the fact that there's two of them, or I'm sorry, there's one on each side, even though there's a baffle which makes them directional. Now that you've got two opposing, now you have omnidirectional sound again. So,
Okay, so how impressive would this speaker be? Let's just say if you just took out the woofers on the sides, not from like a frequency response, but like from an imaging standpoint. Would they
that's the
be-
thing, man. I'm really not sure I'm not sure how much of what I'm hearing as far as like soundstage effects and things like that goes is having the woofers on the side. So what I thought about doing was getting a couple subwoofers, or not subwoofers, but like mid-bass modules or something,
Mhm.
and maybe setting those on the floor and then doing the whole biamp thing, and just kind of seeing like what happens. Just like
He's
what
going crazy.
what happens then if I basically get rid of these mid-bass drivers that are playing? To me, it just makes sense though. If you're going for a true point source, then that's what they've got there. It's kind of like those Genelecs that you guys listen to. It's a different way of getting there,
Mhm.
but it does get you there.
You know,
Although they got 12,
you know
15,
what
I think.
is that like at Audio Advice they had these like in like the biggest, widest open space.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm like, oh, let's listen to something. She's like, it's not that great because like this is the KEF person, because we got two subs and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
They were just there for show. I'm sure.
Essentially, yeah.
How much of it is the shape, that shape?
Well, the shape certainly has to do with the overall response, which means the tonality. Like I know a lot of people are saying, oh, for $30,000, it better sound good. I would say that you've got to separate the look of it from the sound of it too, because you're paying a lot of money for that design, right?
Yeah.
So
Is that driver exclusive to that front driver? Is it exclusive to these?
that
Because
speaker,
I know the new subs, they say they take the drivers from these, right?
yeah, I don't know about that mid-range tweeter coaxial driver. I don't know if that's in their reference meta line now. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
It might be.
Look,
Yeah.
you know what? When I look at something like this, I'm like, man, I need to upgrade my house first. I don't have a house.
Okay, so how about this? When you put them on the clipple, did you have to lay them down or stand?
I haven't gotten them on the clipper yet. I don't know that I'm going to be able to.
Oh, can't measure these, Aaron.
Well, I can measure them manually.
Chill.
I can measure them manually, which I'm not looking forward to doing. I may wind up just seeing if they can let me hold on to them until I move, because then I'll have the height that I need.
Yeah,
to
you're gonna hold on.
How about
never send them back.
Know what the crossover.
how about if you listen to them on their side? What happens?
I don't have an answer for that. I'm guessing
while they're laying down, right?
I mean,
because it's the mid ranges. That's the typical like.
would it change how it sounds? I guess I would say I would have to know that with any degree of accuracy. I would have to see what the vertical and the horizontal radiation look like. I would think that it probably wouldn't change a lot.
Okay, they look like giant flash drives.
Could be.
Yeah, it seems to be a love or hate, man, because I posted like a teaser photo and people were like, oh, those are hideous. And then other people were like, oh, those are awesome. So I'm just like, I hate the look of certain speakers that people love. So I get it. It's a personal decision.
This is what I'm saying, though, dude. Like, I need to have a house that looks like this background to have a speaker like that in there.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's one of those things.
Because I believe you when you say they do like some magical stuff, right? I believe you because you don't get that excited about a lot of speakers,
right?
And expensive speakers. You get a lot of expensive speakers, and you're like, yeah, they're cool. I mean, they're pretty good, but it's not like what you're like, dude.
No, these are next level, man. Like, I mean, if costs were no object, get them and just never turn around. I'd be fine.
But nothing about them looks like so like esoteric and special. You know what I mean? Like it's a coaxial.
Yeah, they don't have a 15-inch mid bass driver on it, that kind of thing, or a big old horn. But that's the thing too.
What it is about it.
Yeah, if you kind of understand how a speaker is designed, you go like, oh wow, that makes sense. You know, you've got everything in one location. You've got a true point source sound rather than it being staggered, multiple crossovers vertically. I just don't know. I would love to have the ability though to test that out, you know, to shut down those side mid bass, have a mid bass on the floor, properly EQ'd for the room and all that stuff, you know, and then listen and say like, all right, does it sound like the stage is being split? Because that's the one thing I've tend to notice with tower speakers is that not every speaker, but a decent bit of tower speakers, I can hear the sound stage split vertically. And I've commented on it. I pointed to it and we're in the data that it kind of makes sense to me that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. But with those, dude, it's just like everything is, even when I'm laying on the floor watching TV, like looking up, it all sounds like it's coming from up here.
Speaker, aren't you?
Huh?
You're laying down with the speaker, aren't you? You're laying
dude,
on
like it's, I got one on each side. I got my arms around it because I'm like, nobody will take you from me.
Look at this thing. This is like the, what is it? This is called.
Now, if they came looking like that, I wouldn't want one.
Discrete chamber for pure sound. Each pair of low frequency drivers is located in its own chamber. This approach reduces the potential for interference between the drive units while also reducing the need for damping, which can impair bass quality.
What are those rolls down there? What is that?
These are your hot towels for when you
Bikram yoga.
So catch any moisture because these things are hot. It's sweating in there. I don't know, man.
So which one has a port?
The top one looks like the pot. There's a port.
Look, there's another port up top or something.
Yeah.
But a smaller enclosure for the top one than the bottom.
Yeah, because of those shape, right? And the top one is imported. Well, I don't know. No, it could be ported.
The whole cabinet.
The whole thing is ported. Yeah, there's a port down here too. Looks like this is drawing air from out here in here, and then boop, boop.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Okay, what sounds close to these?
Nothing. I've not heard anything that. Seriously, man.
Boo. How about
it's kind of soured me. Like I'm just like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, am I going to hear anything that?
Or the like, what are the key audio ones?
The keys are nice. The Dutch and Dutch are really nice. And somebody said the Danley Synergy Unity. I've heard the Danley Hyperions, and those sounded freaking awesome, dude. Those things got like 215s in the chamber. It's unreal. But when I heard those, at least at the place I heard them at, they don't do what these do.
Hey, Erin.
You know? So I don't know how to describe that.
You see this, Erin?
There's a limitless choice.
You can get any color you want, bro.
I'm gonna get gold. Gold.
I mean, that is the worst way to show it, but you can get any. You bring in a swatch, dude. They'll hook it up.
Yeah, they will.
I'm gonna go get the
35K. Hey, just sell your Tesla, bro. You don't need a car,
dude. I don't need that, especially when I move.
Yeah,
I can just ride my bike to work.
That's right. BMX full life.
Yes, that's right. Blow out my back on the way to work.
I got a plan. So look, it's gonna go like this. It's gonna go. Boom. They're gonna send me this to review. This is the old one.
No, man. What are you doing, bro?
It's KC92. Yeah, this is a new one.
All right, that's the new one.
It says, where does it say that it uses the same driver as the blades?
That might be the other one.
Really?
Is that the KC60?
Control F blade. Just say Blade. Just search the word Blade.
Okay, hold on a second. Is it this one? Hold on a second.
I don't know.
Cal measured them quasi, and he got rid of his Rebels. Who's Cal?
Cal Rubinson?
Cal Rubinson? Is that what you said?
Or is it
Calvin Rubinson? One of the stereophile guys.
Cal's the one who he mentioned our disc. Remember?
Cal doesn't measure though. That would have been John Atkinson, but Cal reviewed them and John Atkinson measured them.
See here, Jeremy's on the same train. Fancy Art Deco speakers don't work aesthetically in my 60s ranch house. See, it's
you
not
need to flip it around the other way. Your 60s ranch house don't work with fancy Art Deco speakers.
Well, I mean, they go hand.
You could easily make those work. I mean, they come in custom designs, right?
Yeah,
just get some wood grain design.
Or you could just get a ranch color.
Yeah. They come in white. That's ranch.
Oh, that's great.
It'll work.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get one of these KEF subs, and then I'm just gonna cut a hole and then put one of the concentric
right in there.
That's it, right there.
I think what I'm gonna do is
call it a baby blade, bro. Baby.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what the LS60 wireless is supposed to be, but to me, it's leagues apart. I'm gonna take that MoFi 8. I'm gonna pair it with a couple of those KEF subs. I'm gonna put one above and one below, and then one on each side of that MoFi 8, and that thing's gonna be ridiculous. I'm kidding.
How low does the bass part have to be to do that effect that you think? 500?
How low?
Or how high?
It would depend on the size of the driver and the baffle, but I think for 6.5 stuff like that, I mean 400 or 500 hertz is fine. If you're talking 8, then maybe a little bit lower, and then 15 a little bit lower as well. But you could put some.
You think that's going to be a hard review for you to do?
Huh? You
think it'll be a hard review because you're so excited about it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm gonna put into words how much I like it.
I know. Well, you have now that you crossed over to the point of subjective, right?
Wow, dude, you just like your Cali video. You're like, just buy them. I was like, man, okay. Did someone call you a shill for that?
Yeah.
Oh, so what's gonna happen now, bro?
I know it.
You're gonna sink, Brand. We're gonna throw you a life raft. You'll be like,
I don't care, man. If you don't believe me, just look at the data
on it. You're gonna just throw it away. You're like, I already got my ears.
I think you're gonna have to do 2 separate videos. So seriously, I think you're gonna have to do a video that's just pure measurements first, right? Just pure measurements, and then another video that's just like subjective.
Pure, just I love these things. Buy them.
I think you're gonna have to be separate, and then you're gonna have to just say, dude, I made my previous video was all objective. Watch that if you don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
Descriptions sound better in a British accent. I didn't even see any of these comments, man. Wow, did those speakers come with toilet paper? Oh, this is great.
I'm not laughing because that's not funny.
That looks like the ships that came down in the movie Arrival.
Yep. They do.
They totally do.
Now, if you can't catch the show, we do have an audio version at anchor.fm/daily HiFi. So make sure to go on over there if you like to listen to the show.